Hooligans! We back for another episode of the Hooligans League podcast. Welcome to the trade party. Let's go. This episode might be a little choppy. A bunch of the scenes that I recorded before disappeared. My other laptop stopped working. My webcam isn't working, so I'm on a different camera. I'm on my work laptop. So if things start bouncing around and seems cut up, that's because it is, and I'm not wasting time to redo the whole damn thing. But what a week we just had. Monday Night Football decided by some bullshit. 4 teams impacted by that. We have 3 teams now who have won at least 3 in a row. 3 teams who have lost at least 3 in a row. We're down to our 2 final survivors. We have our first team who has clinched the playoffs. I mean, shit went down. We're in the final 4 weeks. It's a crazy time. But that's not even going to be the focus this week. We're going to get through all that. But we have 3 special segments because it's trade party weekend. So we're going to have some fun. So let's jump in. Going to try to move through this pretty quickly. And then we can get back to the weekend. So episode 11, week 11. Let's go.
Best in the business when it comes to a quarterback sneak.
All right. We back. A little awkward that I'm talking to you all over this TV when I'm also in the room with you, with most of you. This special episode, I'm excited to get into it. Hopefully it doesn't take too long. It's going to be adjusted so that our normal programming going to fly through that. Going to go right through that. Going to touch everything. There's a lot to talk about, but going to touch it all briefly. And then going to jump into 3 special segments. First one, Hooligans League drinking game. There's going to be 2 rounds of that. So if you need a refill, go get it over the next 5-10 minutes. If you need some weed on you, because that's how you're going to participate, make sure you're prepared. But we'll have 2 rounds of drinking games. Pretty straightforward ones. The next segment, got a couple prizes, or surprises, I should say, for the league, for a couple individuals in the league. But it'll be a nice addition to the league. And then lastly, I have a message from Grisefa. He shared his feelings about some things with me and asked me to speak to you all, and thought this week had to be the week because we'd all be together. So let's get into it. Try to go through this pretty quickly, and then we'll get to the bonus rounds. So week 10, ignore this rivalry week banner. It wasn't our rivalry week, even though it felt like one. I went up against Radler after doing our big trade. Came down to the wire. I got super lucky because of that Eagles game. Pulled out the victory. Then Dickey beats Santola in the lowest scoring matchup of the week. Huge win for Dickey. Doesn't hurt Dan too much because he already had such a good record. Then Silverman, another beatdown, this time against Chris. Really setting up Silverman for the rest of the year. Then Berkey got a big win over Jovi, who still sitting at last again. Then Chow again sneaks one out, also because of that Eagles game. Me and him got super lucky because of a bullshit call, but I'll take it. I will certainly take it. And then we had Caveney, who got a big win against James, putting him at 7th. So he's right on the outside of the playoffs. We only got 4 weeks left, y'all. So that was a big week. And these next couple of weeks are really going to decide who is going to be in the playoffs and who is not. So get ready for that. Not going to go through all the individual performances. Actually, I'll mention one. Justin Fields. He's got a huge dick. And he's just slapping y'all in the face with it. Thank you, Dickie. Let's go to winners and losers. So Andy, as we already know, he wins another $20, another Andy Bobandy team of the week. Big time for you. You're already up to $70, I think. Jesus. Then we had Rick getting the best loser because of that. So at least he got paid for that shitty loss. You get $10. I will send that to you right now. Venmo them right now, Mark. And then Dickey. Fuck you. See you later. You're still broke. You're eliminated from the Survivor. Fuck off. That's our winners and losers. That's it. Going through these quick. So $50 prizes, $25. Where we at? Things are coming pretty clear right now. If you're not in it. I'll say that. For the 1 seed, Chow's got a strong hold of it right now. Sitting at 9-1. And then we have me and the 2 Dans sitting at 7-3. We're knocking at the door, kind of. But it's really Chow's to lose. He does play me and Silverman in the final few weeks of the season. So we'll see if we can catch them. And then we got Rick and Andy trailing behind, but they're still technically eligible. They could still catch Chow. For most points, it's me with a decent lead, about 50 points. Then Andy, Chow, and Silverman right behind. And then Santola and Rick trailing the distance. Then we got the Survivor Championship. Me versus Silverman. Whoever outscores the other is winning $50 this week. Big time. We will catch Andy in the prize earnings if we win, but big time matchup within the league, even though we're not playing each other. That'll be fun. Then best week, still Santola. Only 4 weeks left. It's looking like this is your prize, but we'll see. And then most points against, it's Andy, and nobody's close. He's got nearly a 90-point lead on everyone. But James, Jovi, me, and Chris are, I don't even know if we're knocking at the door. We're probably hitting the button to enter the gate to see if we can get to the door, but we're the closest ones to it. But we'll see how things progress. Top earners, nothing has shifted too much. Just Andy's lead has grown, and Dickey's still at 0. That's it for the season prizes and the money. All right, so Manager of the Week. I don't know if this is for sake of time or just because there weren't any clear winners. There are no Managers of the Week, but we do have some featured or some honorable mentions. So we'll get into that. Honorable mentions, Dan Santola. You get mentioned for not playing Paris Campbell. If you would have played him over Mac Hollins or Gallup, you would have won your matchup, and I believe he's been outperforming them over the past few weeks. I get one because when stupid $54 Ellinger wasn't playing, I had to do an emergency fill-in. I was stuck between Noah Brown and Christian Watson. I think we all know that was the wrong move. I almost got a new goose egg from Noah Brown, and Christian Watson scored about 30. I would have won $20 and would have extended my lead in points. Radler, you get an honorable mention for picking up Matt Ryan last week. You piece of shit. Fuck you. Smart move. And then Rick and Chris. Actually, I hadn't edited this screen yet, but Rick and Chris, you get a mention as well for being here on Friday and not Saturday. So those are our honorable mentions. Managers of the Week. Good work, y'all. All right, injuries. Buys. So bye weeks, we got Jaguars, Dolphins, Seahawks, Buccaneers. And then injuries, I'm probably missing some, but some of the more notable ones. Cooper Kupp, obviously, out for most of, if not the rest of the year. Juju saw that bad concussion. Khalil Herbert goes to IR. Dallas Goedert's going to miss several weeks. And Jerry Jeudy might actually play. It looked like it was really bad, but he might actually play. So not a shitload this week, but some pretty notable ones. So you know what time it is.
Here comes the
Time
money.
to spend some money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, money, money.
Dollar, dollar.
Bad dollar. Okay. Not too many transactions this week. Just one little page of them. But there was some big purchases. Dick spent $33 on Baker Mayfield. $33. He needed him. Tom Brady's on a bye. Chow spent $32 on Christian Watson. He had a huge week. Chow needs some wide receivers. He went and got his guy. I spent $6 on Jameo Winston. Caveney spent $5 on Caleb Huntley. Silverman, $4 on Skoronik. Cavaney, another $3 on McPherson. Dick, $3 on Duncan Robinson. Is that his first name? DeMarcus Robinson. And then I spend $2 on Jalen Warren. How do we do? Okay. Some of us, I should say. Dick, you spent $33 on Baker Mayfield. Could have got him for 21, but you really needed a quarterback. So you wasted $12, but you got to overpay when the supply is low. Chow, you spent $32 on Christian Watson, and you nailed it. You beat Chris by $2, who bid $30. I spent $6 on Jameis Winston. Could have got him for free. That hurts when you have as little FAAB as I do. Caveney spent $5 on Caleb Huntley. Could have got him for free. Silverman, $4 on Skoronik. Could have got him for $1. Caveney, $3 on McPherson. Could have got him for free. And then DeMarcus Robinson also could have went for free. And Jalen Warren, hot battle. Battle chow with him. We tied at $2, and I got it for the waiver wire priority. So some fun ones there. Definitely some money wasted, but people are in desperation mode right now. So you got to do what you got to do. Transactions, Pickle Rick tracker.
I'm Pickle Rick!
He's still at the top, and he's putting in the work. Greatly appreciate that, Rick. You looked like you were slowing down for a little bit, but you are up to 61 now with 4 weeks left, and then the playoffs. That goal of 100 is in reach. I'm at 40, and then Chris is still in third with 29. So that's where we're at with the transactions. Now we got the power rankings. Same formula as usual. Definitely some movers. So let's get into that. Chow, still at the top. Masterson finally plays against someone who puts up a decent score, and yet still gets lucky. Clinches his playoff spot. Has a 2-game lead for first with 4 weeks left. Just sitting pretty. Lent, me, I benefited from that luck as well. Got a win. 5-game winning streak. I stay at number 2. Pobre Holmes. Now, he's the first one on this who actually earned his win with the biggest beatdown of the week. Jumps Koski to 3. And then Koski, because of that loss, falls down to 4. For context, though, Graceffa's numbers have both of those teams right behind me. So if I would have lost, I probably would have fallen behind them. But I didn't. So fuck you guys. I'm at 2. Dan's at 3. Rick's at 4. Berkey gets a huge win. And her breaths leap Mr. Wing's Wang for the 5 spot. Drops Mr. Wing to the 6 spot. Then, and that rounds up our top 6, which is also our top 6 in the standings as well. Then for the bottom 6, trying to get in, Gary pops up to 7, even with a loss, even with a 3rd straight loss, really because of the decent scoring this week. And the analyzer loves him. Graceffa loves him. So even though 3 straight losses goes up 1, that's really just because Graceffa likes his team. Dickey keeps climbing. Deb hits a season high, I believe, in the power rankings at 8 after a win. 2 straight wins, I should say. But going to need to keep winning to keep climbing. So we'll see if this is the season high for the year for Deb. Brennan bumps up to 9 with a strong win, but more importantly is in 7th in the standings. So we'll see how that plays out. Trish falls all the way down to 10 after her loss, 3rd straight loss, but is only 1 game out of the playoffs. So still in the running. Sforza jumps to 11 despite being in last, despite losing 2 straight games. And that is simply because LaBelle's team has just been straight trash for 3 weeks straight. Being bottom 2 in scoring in not all of those weeks, at least 2 of them, It's just been a fucking dumpster fire over there in LaBelle's classroom. But still plenty of time to turn around, and you're not in last. So you got that. Those are the power rankings. Let's get into week 11. Trade party week. We got 3 matchups of the week, and they're all extremely important. First, we got Deb and LaBelle fighting for their playoff lives and also fighting to not come in last. Dickie's on the rise. James is on the fall. Winner will be fighting for that final spot in that playoffs. The loser is going to be really damn close to last, depending on what happens to Jovi. The second matchup of the week, we got the Wang versus Brest matchup. Santola versus Andy, 2 formerly top teams in the league who are currently at risk of falling out of the playoffs if things don't go well for them in the next couple weeks, but they could solidify their spot with a couple straight wins. So that's a big matchup. And then last, the Chow Tracker. Dude's won 8 in a row. He's going against Brennan, who's in 7th place right now, trying to get into the playoffs. Huge week for Caveney. He needs wins. And big week for the rest of the league, because if any of us want to try to win that $50, then we need Chow to lose. So those are our 3 matchups of the week. Every week's important, though, for every team. But those are the ones we're going to highlight today. Then last up, before we get into the special segments of the week, just a reminder, tomorrow is the trade deadline. Saturday is the trade deadline, which means we got an exception to the rules. Trades that are accepted will go through immediately. Got to just accept them in the app and have a public handshake. And unless you're making a trade with someone who's not actually at the party, then you don't need a public handshake. But it would be great if you maybe FaceTimed or something. That would be the respectable thing to do. But once those 2 things occur, trade's going through, and that person's on your team, and you can do what you'd like with them. So let's get trading, y'all. All right. So segment 1 of the special edition of the podcast is the drinking games. Got 2 rounds of it. If you don't have a drink, go get your damn drink. You got some time. I can pause this video if I need to give you some time. But first, I will explain how these will work. So the first round is Hooligans League Trivia. I will be asking 7 questions about our league. The first person to get it right, to get the right answer, just yell it out, gets to give a fourth of a drink. Now, I just say that as a rough estimate. A decent amount, not just a little sip. We're men here. You give a real drink. But if you get it wrong, you drink. So there's risk to answering the question. You don't want to just yell out like an idiot. If nobody answers the question correctly, you all drink. If someone gets it right on the first try, I will drink. So you can fuck me. If you get every question right, then I'm going to drink 2 drinks, and you all won't have to do anything. But if none of you can get these questions right, and they're not that hard, then you all will drink a lot. So that's the first round. The second round, who's most likely? I'm going to ask 6 questions relating to our league, such as who's most likely to record a fantasy football podcast. Then everyone points to the person who they think is most likely to do what I described. So in this case, I imagine you're all pointing to me. And then the person with the most fingers pointed at them drinks half a drink. Now, no one's going to be fucking measuring your drink. So if you fucking lie, cool. Nobody's really going to care. But there's a bigger penalty in this round. So that's pretty straightforward. And that's just 6 questions. So we're going to go through these pretty quickly. I will pause the TV after I ask the question to make sure the answer isn't revealed. And then we'll get into the final 2 segments of the podcast. Grab a fucking drink if you haven't. Let's go. So trivia. That's what we're starting with. Reminder. Quarter drink. Get it right. You give a drink. Get it wrong. You drink. Question number 1. This is a two-parter. You can answer one of them or both of them. So this is, who spent the least amount of FAAB last year? Who spent the least amount of FAAB? So you can answer just that. And the bonus piece is, how much did they spend? Take a guess. That's a little trickier. So if no one gets that you won't be penalized for that. But you get to give an extra drink if you get it right. So who spent the least amount of FAAB last year? How much did they spend? Answer is James, and he spent nothing. He didn't spend a single FAAB dollar last year. That's fucking crazy. I don't know if you just didn't, if you forgot, or I don't know. I can't explain that. James might need to pause the video right now so you can explain yourself, because that just seems a little wild. Question number 2. What was Jovi's team name last year? What was Jovi's team name last year? The answer? Spicy Gringo. Jovi's team name was Spicy Gringo. Question number 3. What was the theme of our league 2 seasons ago? Not last year. The year before. What was the theme of our league 2 seasons ago? It was TV dads, guys. Come on. You guys had to get that right. I bet there are some of you who can go through every year and probably list all the themes we've had. All right, question 4. This is also a two-parter. Who made the least amount of moves last year? Bonus piece. How many did they make? And I will give 2 winners to the second part of this. The 2 people who guess close to it, the closest to it, will be winners for that part. Answer? It's Cavany. And it was 13. He made 13 moves. That's it. Rick has made 61, and it's week 11. To put that into perspective. Question 5. Who averages the most defensive points a week this year? Who has scored the most points with their defense this year? Answer. Dan Santola. Double digits. 10.3. It's good work. That's real good work. You should talk to Rick about his defense this year. Not good. Not good at all. Question 6. Who is averaging the most points scored by drafted players this year? So who's scoring the most points with players they drafted this year? Answer. Andy Bobandy. 120. 121. It's a solid draft. Real solid draft. Question 7. Who averages the most touchdowns per week? Who scored the most touchdowns? And if you haven't figured it out, it's by your starting players. Your bench doesn't fucking matter. Who scored the most tutties? And that is Chow. He averages 7.7 tutties a week. Joe Burrow, Mahomes. When you really think about it, it's pretty simple. Those quarterbacks are getting a lot for him. And he's got Jamal Williams just cleaning up as a late round pick. And yeah, fuck you. There is a final question. You get this right, you get to give someone the rest of their drink. You get it wrong, you finish your drink. I don't remember if this is a hard question or an easy one. So it might just be a race to get it right. Or you might have to be patient and think about it. Let's see what the question is, because I don't remember. The person who maybe the answer to this question might know the answer. Who has the longest winning streak of all time? Longest winning streak of all time. Who has it? Not this year, in the entirety of the league. The answer for the rest of your drink. Chris Frank Barone Cintola from 2 years ago. Won 9 in a row. So that's it for the trivia. So now it is time for who's most likely. Reminder, I'll throw out a question like who's most likely to have a fantasy football podcast. You all then would point to the person who you think is most likely to do that. You'd all be pointing at me. Then, because I have the most people pointed at me, I would have to drink half of my drink. So there's 6 questions of those. We'll go through them pretty quick. If you're watching this at home, you might want to skip this part. It's really not going to be that informative for you because you don't actually get to see who we're pointing to. But maybe, hey, you can shoot us a text and let us know who you voted for. So question number 1, who's most likely to lose all of their money at the casino tomorrow? Point to people. Point to the person you think it is, and they go and drink. Who's most likely to lose all their money at the casino tomorrow? And we're moving quick. Okay? And if you're pointing at me, fuck you. And whoever's getting the most fingers at them right now, you drink. Question number 2. Who's most likely to not make a trade tomorrow? Who's most likely to not make a trade tomorrow? Point at them. Hurry up. Don't look at what other people are doing. Just fucking point. And that person go and drink. Okay? You drinking? Good. Question number 3. Who's most likely to draft a bust next year? Who's most likely to draft a bust next year? Are we all pointing at Dickie? I hope so. Question number 4. Who's most likely to get trade raped tomorrow? Dickie, I promise this wasn't a personal attack when I originally wrote the questions, but now that I'm reading them out loud in the order, sorry if you just got a full drink at you, but not really. Question number 5. Who's most likely to break a shot glass this weekend? Okay. Last question. All right. Question number 6. Who's most likely to blow their FAAB on someone they never actually play? Who's most likely to spend a bunch of money and then not play that person? Final question. Make your final attacks on people. Now drink, motherfucker. Okay, so that wraps it up for the Hooligans and League drinking games. Just want to add a little spice to the episode and make sure we're getting all lubed up. Next segment is for the surprises. This is something we should have had a long time ago. Not sure why we never made the move. I know we've talked about it. Kind of starting pretty small, but it was just we had to make the move, so I made an executive decision. We got fucking trophies, y'all. Now this is a cheap trophy, but we're gonna make it special. This trophy will go to the champ every year, and when you win, you will sign it. I have Sharpies, so you can put your name, your team name, the year that you won, so that we are keeping track of history here when you win. And then, so Andy, you should be the first to sign it since you're the reigning champ. Everyone else will sign it from past winners so that we document their victories, and then you'll keep it until next year. Silverman, we got one for you too, buddy. Got a little toilet bowl because you're the piece of shit who came in last place last year. So you'll put your initials on this and mark it with the year that you came in last, and so will everyone else who has come in last in the past. And you can even wear it if you'd like. You know, really just show off your skills. So that's the second surprise. I got them with me somewhere. They're somewhere in the house. And we'll get those out. We'll get the Sharpies out. And I do have a list of everyone who's coming last, so you're not getting away from this. So let's get to our final piece of the episode. If we're still listening to it on a fast speed, probably want to switch it to normal speed right about now. So as I mentioned, I spoke with Graceffa and I have a message from him. He told me he was a little disappointed with me. A couple weeks back, I had used this platform. I had come to this very exact podium and I had done a roast of you all. Really laid into a couple of you. And Graceffa told me that he wasn't appreciative of my behavior because after that, some of you retaliated and clapped back, and I didn't do anything about it. He was really fucking disappointed that when people talked back to me, I didn't respond. So he actually told me I need to go harder this time around. He told me that once clearly wasn't enough and that I needed to take one last shot to make sure that the message is clear. Basically, he told me that he wanted me to go back to back. So here it is. Hooligans! You fucking hooligans! Not again.
About to roast you motherfuckers again.
I learned the game from Coach Graceffa, he will never bless ya. Back to back for the hoolies that didn't get the message. Back to back just like I'm Dickie's two banners. Back to back like I'm CTU just bananas. Whoa. Call me petty and very defensive. When you look back, you might be mad that you gave me attention, cause that made me turn up my offense and left you with no trade options. I wanna see Rick and Andy insane. Again. You gon' make me make Dickie lose every game. Again. You gon' make me go win every single trade. Again. You gon' make me make the podcast last a day. Been waiting 8 seasons to become the champ, and I finally get a crew and you want me banned. I'm not sure what it was that really made y'all mad, but I guess this is what I gotta do to make y'all tap. I mean, whoa, can't fool the league, Rick, they know what's up. Chase for Jared Goff, he be lying, son. Dan and Chow only win cause their record luck, and Joe and Dick mad, well, cause your records suck. You wanna win, you gotta draft your teams well. Drafting in the 3rd round, Elijah Mitchell. James, what if you took Hurts over Wilson? Ryan's best pick wasn't even his decision. Yeah, salty players turn to texting haters. Yeah, you getting bodied by a ringless player. I'm not the type of player that'll type the players, but shout out Salty Chris for all his hating. Make sure you send a trade when you see one. Andy, I think you need one. Pobre, you win this round, it's a free one. Rather you the GOAT for our trade, the CMC one. I got the drink in me going back to back. Yeah, I'm roasting back to back. I got the drink in me going back to back. Yeah, I don't even need fat. I don't want to hear about this ever again. Don't forget about the trades that you didn't accept. Don't forget about the weeks you didn't fill out your bench. Don't be mad I got you starving when my name here is Lent. Oh, you need a better seating? I didn't want to do it, gave me every reason. The point I'm trying to make, you about to get me heated. You brought the salt, now it's grilling season. Please check your lineups and your FAAB requests. Please do not waste points on your bench. Please think before you come for the great one. Please, who's a real manager who ain't one? Please, somebody stop me. Got Watson on my bench feeling cocky. Got playoffs in 5 weeks, that's my shit. Soon as I get going, they gon' ask if I'ma roast ya back to back. Yeah, don't want it back to back. They gon' ask if I'ma roast ya back to back. Took a break from clapping, now I'm back to that. You fucking hooligans.